Ever wondered about our old new metal friends and what became of them?
Are you ready? Welcome to the Zeitgeist Lab Collections Podcast episode. Must be 7? 8?
It's 8, yeah.
I took a big hit off the microphone here before we started, if you could tell. Which brings me to my first point. I just had a very shocking revelation off mic from Alex here. And if you listen to the previous 2 episodes, Alex was on edibles.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And for our and for a guest spot on at least one of those episodes.
Both of them. No, so both for the main episode and the guest spots for both Linkin Park and Incubus. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, see if you could spot a difference. I couldn't, but
you were also high, so.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, I was just in my own little world as usual. But shocking revelations from Poli-Sci Alex.
I try to keep you on your toes. .exe.
Yeah, like the kind of thing that you would like happily announce. It's like, look, Brian, I'm on your level now. What are you gonna do about it? Like, that's how I would be.
I don't know, man. I wanted to see if it was detected, if anything was different.
Oh yeah. Well, you know me. I don't pick up on these things.
Yeah, I thought I'd give edibles a try to cure diarrhea, but it did not work.
Oh really? Yeah. Did it give you more diarrhea?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've always got diarrhea. I'm going diarrhea right now.
Nice. Yeah, I can't quite see you from the word sound, so I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Sick.
Yeah, speaking of like kind of gross. Well, no, this isn't really a gross story, but I teased in the DMs like, once again that I had a good
fucking killer story, the best story of all time, is what you said. This story is so fucking awesome, Alex. I cannot wait.
It's not even remotely close. I just want to make a point that like I approached you in the DMs about this, and I made sure to be like, okay, this isn't. I don't want to hype this up. It's not as good as the last one, but because it's going to come close to that last one. But I'm going to tell it anyway. But I just want to let you know. So I didn't hype this up in the DM. So if you're disappointed, don't come at me. Anyway, this is like a couple of weeks ago. We had definitely done an episode or 2 since this happened, but I just neglected to tell the story. I forgot about it. But so I got high and needed to get groceries, and so I called an Uber, as I always do when I'm high and need to get groceries. I can't not get groceries while sober now. I have to be high if I'm going to be around that many people, which is kind of strange. Do you think you want to be isolated from people when you're high?
Do you have like anxiety about being out in public these days? That like the being high helps, or?
Yeah, I always do. So like, it just makes it easier to be around that many people if I'm just like really just focused on what I need to do. Because I can get out of there in like 5 to 10 minutes now. I've gotten it down to a science. Like I'm a little route through the grocery store to get the same 10 things I always get. Then I'm out of there. But yeah, I definitely always have to be high if I'm like going grocery shopping or something like that.
And why don't you use Lyft?
Because I don't have the app. I only have the Uber app.
Oh, okay.
Why? I don't think one's worse than the other.
No, I don't either. It's just a lot of people will use both, but you're always very specific in saying that you use Uber.
Well, that's just the one that I have. That's the one I knew about first. So, but yeah. So anyway, I called the Uber and I got into the Uber, and then do you ever have the sensation like where you like have to go to the bathroom, but you're not sure if you have to go or not, where it feels like you kind of do? Well, anyway, I was so high that I was like convinced I was gonna pee my pants like once I got into this Uber.
Okay.
And I settled in and everything. I just had that sensation where I was like, oh fuck, I really have to go. I didn't feel this like 10 seconds ago, but I'm now.
Okay.
So I'm like having it, which triggered my fight or flight, where I was like, okay, what do I tell the driver? Do I like say something or do I mean, it's like the grocery store is literally just down the road and around the corner from my building. So it's not it's like a minute long ride tops.
Okay.
So like, what do I do? And then like we're getting like it was the same exact feeling that I had when I actually did piss myself in like the fourth grade during karate lessons.
Okay.
Where I was like really like shy and scared to like ask the constructor if I can go to the bathroom really quick. And
Sorry, did you say the constructor?
Instructor.
Oh, okay.
Did I say constructor?
I think so. We'll have to listen to that back.
Yeah, for sure. Run it back. No, so I like it was that same feeling, but and I just remembered how I felt back then, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna piss myself. So I just shouted out of nowhere, I forgot something. We were just about to turn onto the road.
Okay.
It's to my like building, like about to pull out of the driveway, and I just yelled, I forgot something, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he stopped, and I got out of the car, and I just ran inside, took a piss. Didn't really have to go that bad, but I still had to go.
Okay.
Then I got back into the car and went along my day. But I was so convinced I was going to piss myself in that moment.
Interesting.
Until I just blurted out, I forgot something.
And you're saying
all that came to my mind was like, I forgot something. So.
And you haven't felt this way really since fourth grade? This isn't like a feeling you get frequently?
No, this is like the only other time where that happened, where like,
interesting.
Yeah, so I've never felt that before, where like I've never had that sensation where like I like can't tell if I need to piss or not. Like it was just really weird. But like the second I got in the car, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna piss myself right now. But I think I was really high.
Now I've got a question for you. You say it's about a 1 minute drive. Why don't you walk to the store? Like I get you need to get like an Uber back because you got the groceries.
It's not really walking distance from me. I'm like it's like a really long, busy street that it's around the corner from. So like it would be a hike if I walked there.
Okay.
But yeah. But speaking of walk, I've been going for walks in the park by my house though. And that's been pretty nice. Except on
real main character type shit.
You're right, yeah. I pretty much celebrated 420 a day early.
Why do you celebrate 420? You smoke all the time. Why do you need to celebrate it?
Because I don't celebrate any other holiday, really. I figured this is the one for me.
Okay.
I'm going to really celebrate something. I'm going to celebrate this because birthdays don't really matter anymore.
You know whose birthday was April 20th?
Yeah, your favorite celebrity, Hitler.
That's true. Yep.
But I celebrated 420 a day early pretty much, where like it was nice as fuck out for the first time like all year. No threats of snow or anything like that. It wasn't like rainy or cold or anything like that. It was just beautiful out. And I like decided to like leave my apartment for the first time ever since moving here. And I rolled up some I didn't roll, I packed some King Palms, those blunts that I prefer. Shout out King Palm, please sponsor us. And I picked up some weed from the weed man. Brought the 2 blunts to the park and just found a baseball diamond and sat in the bleachers and got really high. It was my first time smoking real weed for the first time in a long time. Mm-hmm. So I got really high. And I was like looking around for people the whole time and kind of taking in my surroundings. I left my phone at home, so like that was nice. And the next day, it was really shitty out, and I got to the park with my 2 blunts, and my lighter stopped working. So I didn't feel like going to the gas station to get a new one. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like call it a day. And then my friend Diarrhea got off work at like 10:30 that night and was like, hey, you can come over and we can smoke. And I was like, okay, I'll do that instead. Still celebrate the day. And I got there and she was like, oh, maybe I should have said her name because I would have said something kind of like, well, okay, so she said,
Hold on. Say the word diarrhea, and I'll paste that over when you said her name.
No.
Come on.
Diarrhea. She was like we greeted each other, and we asked her what's up and everything like that. She's like, "Yeah, I just did LSD before you got here." I was like, "Oh, okay." So you're really celebrating today. And everything was going really fine. We were laughing about really stupid shit that you'd only think was funny when you're high.
Hmm.
And I was tweeting a lot of it. No one was liking any of my tweets. And and then and then she was like in her kitchen, like making food, and I was sitting in her room smoking by myself.
Hmm.
Like after an hour of this, and she was like, "Brian," I was like, "Yeah." It's like I'm not having a good time, and she like started to have a really bad trip from there.
Oh, jeez.
Thought she was gonna die. She started crying. She like kept trying to make food, but like couldn't physically do it. It was like eating food and just putting it down and saying, "I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry." And then I'm like, "There's food right there," and she'd like pick it back up again and then like stop eating it immediately. And it was very bizarre and very scary.
So what did you do?
I mean, I stayed there for a while until she calmed down, and then I went home.
So you didn't like have to take her to the ER or something?
No, she like eventually, after like an hour maybe of just being like freaked out, she kind of calmed down and then
Gotcha.
kind of gave me permission to leave. But I made sure to stay there and like kind of watch her and ask her what you need, stuff like that. But yeah, I'd never been around someone who'd been on hallucinogens before.
Well, you're a good friend to diarrhea.
Right? Yeah, yeah. She said the same thing. So cool. But yeah, that was my 420. Well, so should we reach down there and see what's up with the Grundle?
Let's fucking do it.
All right, well, we'll start off with Gabe Sluice,
The sluice is loose.
who has another "Have you ever?" question. This time, he wants to know: have you ever been friends with a little person? So yeah, I guess I'll field this one first. I've I befriended a little person at a Gaslight Anthem concert back in 2009, I want to say.
Okay.
This was before the band blew up. They were at the High Noon Saloon. I can't remember if they had released their second album by that time or not, their breakout record. But there was not a lot of people at the front of the stage, but I was a huge fan ever since they put out their first album in 2007. And I was just old enough to go to the High Noon Saloon at that time, and the only other person, there's just a handful of people standing at the beginning, or not the beginning, at the front of the stage, rather, and one of them happened to be a little person, and she we kind of started talking back and forth, and the band came on the stage, and like she was standing like right beneath their freakishly tall bass player, I want to say.
Okay.
And he just like looked up at him like, "Hi." It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. And then like the band started playing, she like kicked off her little shoes and went, "Let's dance." Or something like that. It was like it was like one of the cutest things I've ever seen at a concert, that's for sure.
Okay.
That's been my only encounter with a little person in my entire life. So
That's one more than I have. I've never met one.
great today. Have you listened to Gaslight Anthem before?
I have not. No.
Oh, you should. If you like Tom Petty or Bruce Springsteen?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then you'll hate the Gaslight Anthem then. Damn, you don't even like Tom Petty or Bruce Springsteen. Jeez.
American Girl by Tom Petty's really good. That's the only Tom Petty
Is
song
that
I
the
like
only
though.
song you've heard?
What?
Is that the only song you've heard?
Oh come on! Everyone knows "Free Falling." That piece of shit.
Okay, they actually covered I've seen the Gaslight Anthem cover "American Girl" quite a few times live.
Oh really? That was the standard cover that Jack's Mannequin would do in concert
Oh,
when they
really?
used to be around. They would always do "American Girl."
That's really weird. I can't picture them doing that.
It's really good.
So you've never had any experiences with a little person before?
Not that I can recall.
No. All right. Moving on. Well, I'm really glad I had that experience and I could share it then. I haven't thought about that in a very long time. So thank you, Gabe Sluice, for helping me unlock that memory.
Thanks for sluicing your sluice juice all over.
All right. So Jordan Lane wants to know. Okay, so we've heard a lot about new metal. Do you guys like old metal?
Fuck old metal. Fuck all metal. New metal's the closest thing to liking metal that I've got, and as we can see, as we listen to this season, It's very hit or miss. But if we're just talking about old metal, it can all get fucked.
But like, I mean, so you don't even like old like Metallica or something?
No, no, my God, no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you've dropped that take before. You've dropped your incorrect Metallica take before.
Honestly, I'd probably rather listen to the Foo Fighters than Metallica, if I'm being honest.
So you'd rather drink water than like
I'd take the water over wine.
hard whiskey or something?
No, I'm gonna go with the Incubus reference.
I tried to steer clear of that specifically with whiskey.
I just
And
thought
because-
I'd reference our favorite anti-drunk driving song. I thought.
Right, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to keep us on track, but okay. Um, yeah, so like Foo Fighters are water and Metallica's whiskey was the point I was trying to make.
Sure, yeah, I think I'd rather listen to Foo Fighters than Metallica.
Okay. Well, that take is incorrect.
How can I now have a take saying I want to listen to the Foo Fighters and I'm still being told it's incorrect? Do I have any correct takes revolving around the Foo Fighters?
No.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, anyway, to answer Jordan's question, yeah, I love plenty of old metal. I like old school death metal. Like I like Bolt Thrower. I like Death. I like Autopsy and that kind of stuff. I got into metal because of Metallica, obviously. That was the first metal band I heard, pretty sure. And I like everything up until And Justice for All, pretty much. That's not my least favorite album, but I think that's when they kind of start going downhill. So yeah, the first 3 or 4 albums I think are really good for Metallica. Yeah, I like plenty of old metal. Like Norwegian black metal I like a lot. Yeah, so that answers that. So then Jordan follows that one up with, for the rest of your life, you can only get around by walking on stilts or bouncing on a pogo stick. Which do you choose? That's a tough one.
Pogo stick.
Really?
It's gonna bounce the diarrhea out of me.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm just going to answer the question then.
I did answer the question.
There's less risk involved. I feel like if you're bouncing, it's harder to control yourself. So if you're on stilts, it's kind of easier to maneuver. So that's my answer to that question. You just ignore Alex's answer.
No, my answer's valid. I'm allowed a voice in this process.
But you have to bring diarrhea into it, don't you?
I don't have to.
All right, we're just kind of blazing through these. Toes wants to know. I don't know if you're going to answer this later, so you don't have to now. If you don't want, is Limp Bizkit actually new metal, or are they posing? We can answer this now. We don't have to wait until the Limp Bizkit episode, whenever that happens. You can start this one.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a new metal expert. I would say they're posing, though.
Why do you think that?
I don't know, because I feel like they're the... Don't even, I mean, you'll get my Limp Bizkit takes when we get to that episode, and I don't want to say that I hate them, because I don't. I think they've done some really great and interesting work, but at the same time, I feel like they are the hokiest and maybe least authentic band I can think of.
Wow, that's a statement.
But that's like, I'm not saying like, okay, I am saying it as a negative thing, but that's not just a blanket like everything they do is shit, because they do have things that they've done that I really like. But on the whole, just they lack authenticity. Like it's almost like they're just posing as a band, whether it's as new metal or rap or rock or whatever. It's all just posing. It's like they're not even a real band, is what I feel like.
Wow.
It's like they're Spinal Tap or something.
As someone who's been listening to their music since middle school, I have to completely disagree with everything you've just said. I don't think we've agreed on any, like on all 4 of these questions. I feel like we've had completely different answers. Not even the pogo stick versus stilts can bring us together.
No, I gotta get that diarrhea out, man.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, no, you're completely wrong. They definitely started out as a very authentic new metal band, and they definitely cemented themselves as like a staple of the genre. Like that's one of the first bands you think of when you think of new metal. And they definitely formed organically and weren't brought together by a major label or anything like that. So they're very authentic. They kind of, I mean, they kind of gained popularity by what I guess you could say are like semi illegitimate reasons by like, getting hot off of a cover song. Like their first hit was not a song they wrote themselves. So I guess you can kind of throw that criticism their way and be legit about it. But for the most part, no, I think they've been very authentically themselves their whole career. I mean, they haven't changed for anyone, that's for sure. They've pretty much stuck to their same sound and their same shtick their entire career, and they've done it to much to the chagrin of most critics and fans and things like that. So they've been unapologetically themselves for their entire career. So they've been very self-aware about it too. Like I mean, they know they're hated. Like their most current album is called "Still Limp Bizkit Still Sucks."
Right.
So, and yeah, the joke's on the haters because they're like new metal is becoming slowly becoming cool again, and they're going on tour with a lot of really really interesting artists and new artists, and like they've been touring with a lot of underground bands. Like they've handpicked the artists for their current tour or their upcoming tour. Like there's a underground hardcore band called Scowl that's female fronted that they handpicked for their tour. So that's pretty cool. So they know what's up. They know.
Okay.
They're very self aware and they're very in tune with what's going on and shit like that. So yeah. I don't know what the question was, but yeah. Yeah, what was the question?
If Limp Bizkit is actually new metal or if they're posing.
Oh no, they're definitely new metal. Like their sound is what I think they were one of the first new metal bands to introduce hip hop to new metal. I mean, they were the first rock. They weren't the first ones to mix rap and rock, obviously, but like they were the first new metal band, I think, to flirt with hip hop tendencies. So yeah, they're the reason why everyone's got the turntables and stuff. So I think, I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but yeah, no, but like I said earlier before, like when people think new metal, they're one of the first bands that they think of. So yeah, that answers that. We will elaborate further on the Linkin Park episode that we just did, the Limp Bizkit episode that we're gonna do later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, I guess that's all we got from the Grundle for this episode. Thanks to everyone that reached down rather, and scratched their grundles with us.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, for those of you joining us late, the grundle is another word for your taint. I don't know if we've established that this season or not.
I don't know.
Oh no, we did on the first episode with Sam.
That's right.
But for those who are late, and maybe this is your first episode for whatever reason, maybe you're a big Snot fan. That's funny for two reasons. The first one being I had to pause to think about what episode we're doing.
Nice.
Because Snot is probably the least known band we're doing for the season.
Yeah, so the grundle is the taint.
Yeah, it's another word for that.
My grundle is very brown from poor wiping.
That's great. All right, so yeah, I'm really excited to hear what you thought about this record. We're talking about, I haven't announced it yet. We're talking about Snot's 1997 album, I want to say. Hold on, I'm pulling up Spotify here. Their 1997 album, Get Some. It is their first studio album and their only album with original singer Lynn Strait.
Why do you keep picking bands that have dead singers?
What do you mean?
Static X?
Oh yeah. Static X,
Linkin Park.
That's right, yeah. Linkin Park and Snot. I guess this is the third one with a dead singer. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard being a new metal vocalist, I guess.
I guess so.
Well, they all died for different reasons. So
One
was overdose. The other one was died by suicide. And the other one was Lynn Straight was hit by a truck rather. When he was in his own car, and his dog was with him when he died as well. His dog died in the crash as well. The dog is on the cover of the album. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. I'm just telling you things that I've researched.
Because I can't say out loud what I want to say. So
why? What I'm saying is very tragic. What are you holding back about? What do we possibly want to say that?
Do we really care if there's one less dog in the world?
What the fuck? I don't dislike dogs. I had to meet the dog first. I can't say I love all dogs. I can say I love all cats because I've never met a cat that was a fucking asshole.
Well, haven't met enough cats then. Most cats are great and much better than dogs, but there are some asshole cats out there too.
No, there are some. No, I've grown up with cats my whole life, and we've had some that were pretty terrible. But at the end of the day, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to hate a cat. But
and
dogs
easy to hate a dog.
What?
And easy to hate a dog.
I think it's easier to hate a dog, yeah, because they're always on, you know. They're never like they're always just jumping all over you and shit, and they're barking loudly, and they have to shit outside, and you have to clean up after them, and just I don't know, they're high maintenance, and I have to meet the dog to like. I've met many dogs that I've grown to like quite a bit, but I've never lived with a dog before. But yeah, no, cats are chill. You know, they just want to sleep most of the time.
Right.
Doom's currently sleeping in the kitchen. So that's where she's at. She's not being told to fuck off today. That's her new spot because I have clothes in the kitchen for some reason, just a pile of clothes.
That makes sense. I mean, I guess so. I don't know how your apartment is laid out, but I assume that what happens is you come back in. I assume the kitchen's right there. You plop your bag of Taco Bell down on the counter, fully disrobed, just throw the clothes into the corner of the kitchen, and just like start housing those tacos or whatever.
I'm not going to say whether or not how accurate that is. I mean, you got there pretty quickly, so you were able to picture it pretty vividly in your head, it seems like. So. Just going to go ahead and congratulate you for that. But yeah, no, there's a pile of my clothes in the kitchen for whatever reason, and she's just sleeping on them. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how we got off on that tangent after I said that he was killed with his dog. He was on the cover of the album. But yeah, I got really emotional reading that because I like the pet and the pet owner dying together is like really sad, but kind of beautiful.
It is sad that the singer died.
But it's not sad that the dog died too. I mean, It's really sad that he died. I mean, he got to die with his pet. I mean, like if I'm gonna go out, I don't want Doom to go out with me, but like I don't want to like. I'd rather we go out together, I guess. So one doesn't have to live without the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like yeah. So that's where my mind went when I read that very tragic information. But yeah, the dog is on the album cover, as you may have noticed, and I forget. I think it's Dobbs, the name of the dog. But yeah, we'll see Dobbs later in the episode. So yeah, and then they followed up their studio debut with a tribute record called Straight Up, which features
Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray.
Yeah, okay. You have that in front of you. Okay, cool. I was going to look that up. Yeah, Fred Durst. I think the guy from I remember seeing it in the CD store, not knowing what it was. I was like, this is like a lot of my favorite artists on the cover of this album. But Yeah, let me look that up straight. Yeah, there it is. Okay. But yeah, I remember seeing it on like Sam Goody or some shit when I was like a teenager, and like seeing all the faces on like the alternate cover of the album, being like, "Who is this?" It's like a compilation of shit. But yeah, it looks like some. Yeah, we got Brandon Boyd from Incubus, Jonathan Davis from Korn, Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit, who you love, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray. We got Shavo, the bass player of System of a Down. Ozzy does some spoken word. Serge from System of a Down. Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I'm just only reading off the ones that I recognize. I could give a fuck about the rest of these people. Who's Whitfield Crane?
I don't know.
Oh, Ugly Kid Joe. Okay. Yeah, who gives a fuck about that? Who the fuck is Marcelo Diaz? Soulfly. Okay. Anyway, that's their second album. We're here to talk about the first album. Alex, what did you think about the album Get Some by Snot? I want to say it's called.
You're not even sure what we're here talking about. I thought that this album was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Wow. Okay. Tell me more.
I think that when you look at the album cover and you see that the name of the band is Snot, and then you hear the first, I don't know, let's say 2 songs of the album, you're like, yep, this all adds up. Everything that I have taken in about this band and all the context clues lead to these songs, and this makes sense. But then it becomes much more versatile as it goes on. Like, it's got some really interesting instrumental numbers. I believe 313, Get Some of D's, and Get Some Keys are all instrumental numbers that I thought were just kind of really like vibey, and I really got into those. I really loved the song Snooze Button. I thought that was a really good song. And
I only remember there being one.
And Deadfall I thought was really good. And one of the songs, it might have been Deadfall, but one or more of the songs has horns, which I thought was really fascinating. So this is just a very versatile and...
You heard ska on this album? You heard ska on this album?
I heard horns. I did not hear a ska rhythm. So this is a very versatile and well-rounded album that I really appreciated.
Yeah, I thought this was okay. It was too long. There's definitely some filler.
I disagree. I think this is way better than for instance, the self-titled Korn album, which is longer than this.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. This is only 48 minutes.
Oh, wow. No, this felt a lot longer and definitely had some filler. But I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. It definitely grew on me. I listened to it almost twice. I listened to like the first... I listened to it yesterday almost all the way through, save for this last 2 songs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because something came up or whatever. Oh, because we did the interview yesterday. And so I made sure to listen to it all the way through today. And it definitely grew on me the second time around. But it's definitely, I don't know, I wouldn't say well-rounded is the right word. But there's definitely a lot more going on with it than I thought there would be. There's definitely all over the place. Like, the first song sounded like the first System of a Down album to me. I don't know if you've heard their self-titled album.
I have not. No.
Okay. Damn, we should have done that one instead of Toxicity. Anyway, that's probably not a good idea. Toxicity is the album. Okay, which one is better than Toxicity?
Steal this album.
No.
Yeah.
Incorrect. The first song reminded me of that, and then there was like 3 songs. Water went down the wrong pipe. Then there's like 3 songs that are like kind of like really punk leaning, they're really fast. They got like a punk rock vibe to them. There's like 3 songs like that are kind of peppered throughout the album. I thought that was pretty cool. They definitely changed it up a lot, but I don't know. I still feel like it could have been like 3 or 4 songs shorter.
No, I think it's perfect. as perfect as a new metal album can be. Like, of everything we've heard, this is probably the best one. I mean, obviously Hybrid Theory is kind of, in my realm, untouchable because it's so accessible, but of the less mainstream things we've heard, this is the best version of new metal that I can imagine.
Yeah, and they definitely have my problem is like they flirt with like a couple different styles, but like they definitely like have a hard time like kind of picking a lane and staying in it.
What do you mean? It's all new metal, right? This brings me back to my point. Like, new metal is so many different things, and from everything you have told me and others, every one of these songs fits in the genre of new metal, so they've picked the lane of new metal.
I'm not saying it's not new metal. It's definitely new metal all the way through. But like, they kind of flirt with like a couple of different styles. I should have said instead of genres. Maybe I should have said styles instead. Like there's like flashy, funky guitars every once in a while, and there's that I don't remember there being 3 instrumentals. I only remember there being 1, but I could be wrong. I didn't fall asleep listening to this either.
Okay.
Get that out there in the open. Nip that in the butt.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely only remember there being 1 instrumental, and it was very like jazz fusion-y with like the keyboards and stuff. I think it was called something keys.
Yeah, Get Some Keys. That's the 3rd instrumental. That's towards the end. Get Some of D's and 313 are also instrumentals.
Really? Okay. What do those instrumentals sound like? Is it the same vibe?
Yeah, they were definitely kind of more jazzy. 313 was a little bit more upbeat, as I recall, but I just remember like really really enjoying them.
Okay. Well, okay, because like then I'll have to walk back some criticism that if there's a couple instrumentals, because my point against that 1 instrumental was that like is something that a lot of bands did. I heard growing up, like they would stick to one style throughout the whole album, then they'd have like the last song be like this really weird shift or this really weird turn in like style or genre or whatever, or like where they'd go way out of their comfort zone and do some really weird experimental kind of thing, and they'd put it at the end of the album. It's like, and I would always hear bands do that, like Incubus, for example, I think did that. I'm sure like there's a couple other examples that I can't think of now that would do that, but I would always think, why can't they just do this style more often? It was like the most interesting part of it. Like a lot of pop punk bands do that too, I think. Growing up, I would always have that criticism, but I guess I'd have to walk that back for this album because I guess there are 3 instrumentals instead of 1. So, I don't. There's another song on here that kind of sounded like early Tool, but like less talented, I guess.
Okay.
I don't remember hearing horns, but I completely believe you that there's 3 instrumentals and horns on this album. I mean, I don't know why you'd make that up. So it's probably too high and missed it. But I don't know. I think like the core of their sound is really good. That like kind of bouncy, hard riffs. Like my first impression was that this is more hard rock leaning than new metal. But but the more I listened to it, then the more time that passed, I kind of got what they were going for.
Now, one thing that I think is interesting, I mean, I don't know. According to Wikipedia, Snot was a heavy metal band, but they list the genre of this album as new metal and funk metal.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. There's like I said, there's some like flashy funk guitars here and there. I think there's some slight elements of hip hop here happening as well.
Yeah, a little bit, not much though.
Yeah, and that's kind of the core of their sound, with those like really chunky, bouncy riffs and stuff.
And it says someone played banjo on the song Deadfall.
Oh, okay, I don't remember that, but
me either.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely got the general feeling that there's a lot more going on in this album than I thought there would be, and for your typical new metal album, for sure, too.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what I appreciate about it.
Yeah, and I guess that was my main criticism of it, is that like it definitely keeps it interesting, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, what if they kind of stuck with like, or what if they fully committed to one of these styles, and like, what if they kind of expanded on it more instead of just kind of flirting with it?
Yeah.
What they're gonna do on the album, but yeah, unfortunately, it was their first and only album with that singer, so we wouldn't really know.
Right.
But I'd definitely be interested in hearing what the straight up album sounds like, especially with all the guest vocalists and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like once again, I'm very surprised by your takeaway from this album. So I'm kind of glad we disagree on one of these two. The band performed at the 1998 Ozfest tour. On July 9th, 1998, Lynn Strait, the vocalist, was arrested in Mansfield, Massachusetts for indecent exposure after emerging nude from the oversized toilet prop used by Limp Bizkit in their performances. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know if you knew, but like not Metallica, Limp Bizkit, the much better band, obviously. But like I don't know if they still do this, but for most of their career, they would have a massive prop toilet on stage that I think Fred Durst would come out of. And so I guess one date on the Ozfest, the late singer of Snot emerged from it fully nude. I wonder if he was eating Taco Bell too.
It's possible.
So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get charged with indecent exposure, that's the way to do it. It's just, just might as well have everyone see it instead of just one person in the street.
Mm-hmm.
Or a couple people in the subway.
Right.
So, go big or go home, I guess.
I suppose so.
So yeah, I found that on their Wikipedia yesterday and had to screenshot that to make sure I remember to say that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the extent of my research not involving videos. So, should we make a pivot to videos here?
Let's do it.
All right.
First video I've got here is Snot, obviously playing Stupid live at Side Door in 1997.
Mike Doling. Okay.
I don't know what just happened though.
You are not mine.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's got some funky guitars going on. I just remembered where the banjo was in the album. It's on one of those punk songs where it steers very abruptly into like a rockabilly or bluegrass kind of passage.
It's from Deadfall. I thought that was an amazing song.
Yeah, I remember hating that part. Because it got very rockabilly or something like that. I'll have to listen back to it again. I don't know. Yeah, I just unlocked that memory somehow.
Okay, so this is Snot playing Get Some, featuring Fred Durst, Riverside, California, 1998, Lynn's last show. Sorry, did you say there was a specific spot in the video I should be at?
Yeah, I was trying to say, Fred Durst comes in around 3 minutes into the video.
3 minutes. Okay, we're almost there. Let's see here. Yeah, the quality on this video is not that great, like the audio quality, so I'm having trouble hearing it, but it sounds decent enough, I suppose.
Yeah. I like Fred's System of a Down jacket that he's wearing.
Yeah. Okay, here we have the official music video for Stupid.
Stupid. And this is where we see more of the dog that also tragically passed in that same car accident that you don't seem to care about. Yeah, there's Dobbs the dog.
It's just him chilling out with his dog.
Well, I think there's more to it than that. I only watched the first 30 seconds. So. Because you really love that dog. You gotta be with you for going and cover the evidence.
Song's fucking sick, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know why, but in that, like, listening to it just now, it somehow just occurred to me that this sounds like a band that would be in a snowboarding video game. I don't know why I said snowboard specifically, but it definitely has a snowboard video game attached to it.
All right. Okay, so the last video you sent me is of Snot the rapper.
Yeah, okay, so there's currently a popular underground rapper named Snot, but with a $sign. And I'd never heard of them before. I didn't, even when I looked at the video, I wanted to do the episode, but I've never heard it before.
Okay. So this is his song called Revenge.
Directed by Cole Bennett, who is a very, very popular music video director in underground hip hop. Everybody wanna tell the truth, but lie. I can see these niggas right through my eyes. Bitch, I'm reckless, I'm ruthless, very much stupid. All about this money, niggas hit my phone. Not gonna, the rapper is gonna be on the upcoming Limp Bizkit tour.
Sorry, what was that?
Snot the rapper is going to be on the aforementioned Limp Bizkit tour.
Oh, okay.
Along with Young Gravy and Scowl and Dying Wish, among others.
That's so awesome.
A lot of they're bringing a lot of underground hardcore and hip hop.
Yay!
That's very cool. Fuck off. I'm just saying that's a good thing. I think it's very cool that they're tapped into the underground music scenes in multiple genres. That shows that they're aging gracefully. Have you listened to that song?
We just listened to like the first minute of it.
That was like the first 10 seconds.
The first 10 seconds?
It was, I don't know if it was closer to a minute or 10 seconds, but it was definitely not. I was being selfish when I added this to the video. I really did not heard I don't think I was making it.
Sorry, what?
To be honest. I was just saying I was being selfish in adding this to the video list because I've never heard this artist before and I've been neglecting to check them out.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm missing it.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad, but there's nothing noteworthy about it.
Nah, I thought I always thought because of their image that I had seen them project in like social media, I thought they were more hardcore of a rapper or something.
Yeah,
but that seemed pretty
Biscuit's
late.
taking him out. Yay!
Fuck off. Yeah. All right. Well, that was our Snot episode. Rest in peace, Lynn Strait, and rest in peace, Dobbs the dog. Yeah, you're just like, I don't know about the dog. You're nodding yes when I said rest in peace, Lynn Strait, singer of Snot, and like you just did again. And then when I say Dobbs dog, you're just like, you're just like
Wow.
Yeah. No, I think it's sad and beautiful they died together. I mean, like he really clearly he loved the dog. It was so much that he put on the album cover and in the music video. I mean, if I was an artist, I'd put Doom in everything. But yeah, I don't know. I got emotional and felt real feelings when I read about that. But you seem to don't have you seem to not have much of a heart in there.
Not for dogs.
No, I guess not. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Zeitgeist Lab Collections podcast. That was Snot. Snot bad.
Hey everybody. I am making this video to add my voice to the growing chorus of those of us who hate dogs, who find them absolutely disgusting, and want nothing to do with them. So I know this is an unpopular opinion, but let me tell you why I despise dogs. The main reason is that they are disgusting. Dogs are fucking disgusting animals. They always stink. I don't care if you just washed your dog, it's still gonna have that nasty fucking dog smell. And dog owners always say, oh, not my dog don't stink, or I wash my dog regularly. No, you're just used to the fucking smell. Your dog fucking stinks. If I pet your dog, as soon as I get done, I'm gonna have to wash my hands because my hand is gonna stink like your shit ass dog. It's disgusting. Now, it's true that some dogs stink more than others, but all dogs fucking stink.